What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. I'm feeling good today. I hope you guys are as well. We're like 1 or 2 days away from Mars going direct again. It's been a very interesting retrograde period, so prepare yourselves for that. Today we're going to continue with our Sun through House series, and we'll be covering Sun in the Sixth. And I'm excited to do this one because I'm really in tune with the sixth house. All right, for myself, I had Saturn in the sixth, opposite a 12th house stellium. So yeah, man, I know this house well. So what is the sixth house? The sixth house is the house of underprivileged people. It's the house of everyday life. Okay, and that's gonna everyday life. That's the major theme. Everyday life. Okay, it's the house of health. It's the house of diseases. Things like that. Open enemies. But overall, the sixth house, like I said, I like to look at it as the house of health and the house of everyday living. Okay, other things are involved, but those are your two main things. You're going to be taking care of yourself in this house. You're going to be paying attention to the details of life. All right. And what is the sun? The sun is our ego, our confidence, our vitality. All right. So there's a huge resonance here between the sun and the sixth house. This means something. Okay, it represents a relationship with our father, our career direction, and overall life's purpose. Okay, so when sun comes into the sixth house, let's keep in mind that there's many ways to view the zodiac, but if we're progressing, say our soul is evolving house by house. So one incarnation we spend, the sun in the fifth, sun in the fourth, blah blah blah. When sun comes to the sixth house, this is a culmination point, all right? Because the seventh house is going to be, an incarnation of rest, and it's not going to be so much about us personally, all right? So when you're a sixth house sun, your main objective is to perfect everyday living. As simple as that. And how do you perfect everyday living? You take what's in your skill set, all this energy you have, everything you've learned, and you implement it on a day-to-day basis. So as always, sign placement is going to show us how our day-to-day operations are going to go. And we'll get into that, okay? So yeah, for you six house suns, man, this is about paying attention to the I guess I don't not the boring the adult things in life, okay? The Virgo things of life. Because remember, sixth house is the original house of Virgo. And the reason Virgo is about perfecting things in the details is because on an everyday basis we need to know how to implement our skill set. So we're gonna take this sixth house sun incarnation is about everything that you using, everything that you've learned prior to this incarnation and perfecting it on an everyday basis. So if you have Jupiter in Leo, you want to use your Jupiter in Leo, in the best way possible on an everyday basis. Use your Mars on an everyday basis to fulfill sun's desires. Okay? So that's really a strong part of what the soul wants to achieve in the sixth house. It's really about understanding what what actions can be taken on a day-to-day basis, what lives can be saved on a day-to-day basis. Because don't forget, the sixth house is the house of service. And with sun being our career, this is very standing in our career on an everyday basis, okay, in consistency and perfecting that is going to fulfill the soul's desires. But ultimately, this sun is really here on duty, with it being that the sun is in the sixth house. The most prominent sixth house person I can think of is the greatest Michael Jackson. And he was a Virgo, so it just resonated all too well. But inside that, for you sixth house suns, I want to show you that whatever you choose to take up, whether it be a hobby, whether it be a responsibility, whether it be your career, you need to work tirelessly and effortlessly to perfect that. Okay? And one thing, like say you have a sixth house Leo sun and you're that um, performance art driven Leo. Leo tends to want to skip over the details and just focus on the big things, but with Sun here, no matter what sign, you're gonna be forced to perfect whatever it is that you do. Okay, now with your career and with this is also can be seen as like, yeah, like I said, it's a placement of responsibility. So depending on the other factors in your chart, whether it be family, whether it be your neighborhood, whatever other energy is prominent, you are really like that manager. You help bring like this consistency and this, you're the rock in these certain situations. So if you're 10th house heavy, that's going to coincide with your career. You're going to be, whatever career you have, you're going to be respected and honored in that career. People are gonna look to you and things of that nature, right? If it's in your fourth house, your second house, on an everyday basis, family is going to provide, is going to be that outlet of responsibility for you, that thing you need to work to perfect. So it's really all about seeing how the rest of the chart is set up. But I'll reiterate it again. Sixth house is about just everyday living, keeping up, paying the bills, going to the doctor, taking vitamins, all right? And perfecting your craft, what it is you want to do to the world. You're going to be of service, okay? Let's talk about health. This is really a good big resonance because sun is vitality, and vitality, is that life within us. So the aspects in the sign are really going to show, and other planets here too are really going to show, how your health is. So if you don't have a good sun, and it's like, say you have sun square Mars, sun square Pluto, you could be in for uh, uh, a incarnation of just having to improve your health, or your health being a major problem. So the easiest thing to relate to the sixth house, I would say, is like your bones with sun, and then overall like with Virgo, like your intestines. So a major lesson I would say is perfecting the health habits. Okay, knowing what to consume and what not to consume on a day-to-day basis. And it's funny because it's like this position for a Pisces sun is so hard, because Pisces is, of all the signs, does not want to be grounded in reality at all. And Pisces by nature are natural escapists. So a lot of, not just Pisces, but Pisces type people, even 12th house people, struggle with a placement like this, because Virgo also, sixth house in Virgo also relates to moderation. So like I said, you can't really get away with extravagant behavior in this house. It's really about being responsible and doing the right things. Okay. So that's what, like, health is a major thing. But I will say this. The thing about houses 6, 8, and 12 is that they all get better with time. So, say you have a sixth house sun here, and they got a like a not so good place Saturn, or the sun is just not doing well. These are your people who that Saturn return helps them. Eventually, they get it. Okay, so for someone with this position, your 20s may be a little struggle, but it all depends on that sign, boy. Because if Earth does well here, okay, Earth can find a groove and a sense of direction. Little tough here for the air signs, unless they can really find that intellectual outlet and they're really supported. Fire signs make the most of it because they're naturally inspired and passionate. So on a day-to-day basis, they'll find ways to enjoy themselves. The water signs I've seen here, this is where you run into a lot of issues. Like a lot of issues with the father, a lot of issues with the health and just overall unhappiness. Like for people in my generation, if you're born a Scorpio, Pluto would be present here for sixth house sun, and that just shows a lot of just um, clearing karma and just learning how to deal with the ebb and flow of life. Take the good with the bad. This is also the house of enemies, right? And sun here, right? Since sun is light, okay? It brightens up whatever house it's coming to. It can give you the ability to see who your enemies are. But the thing is, it's going to be, like I said, it's going to just matter about how well your sun is placed. Because some people, like especially since sixth house is connected to the workplace, they know like, okay, this person is my work enemy because they want to compete with me, or I'm competing with them. But it's not like a vengeful one, or someone's trying to really be a secret enemy to you, like in the 12th. We're more so like of a competitive one, someone that a situation that pushed you to become a better you. But like I said, you want to look at combinations here. So if you get sun with a malefic here, like sun or Saturn, you can see a lot more, a different level of enemies, and really having to separate yourself from your enemies. Libra suns here, as far as enemies go, can be blinded to who their enemies are. But depending on like having a Jupiter here or something along with sun, you can win your enemies over. So it's just nothing crazy, just things to overall really look out for. Okay, so in closing, guys, I just want to reiterate, this is a cool position to have. Sun in the sixth, it's really, it puts you more in tune with yourself and what qualities you possess, and how that affects your life. So if you're this person with the sixth house sun, and it's been difficult for you so far, understand that it's going to get better with time. But you may also want to change your overall attitude, because with sun here, you need to, if you're not waking up every day motivated to go live and do the things you need to do, you're gonna get that kind of result back from the universe. Things aren't going to work your way. But if you can fully integrate your sun sign personality on an everyday basis, things are going to open up for you. All right. So guys, this is my interpretation of sun in the sixth house. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to do so. And until next time, peace.